And we live. What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Cool from CBT, along with my bros. Introduce yourselves.
Yeah, it's your boy John G. What up, everybody? I'm glad to be back. It was a long hiatus, but I'm back.
Mash.
It's your boy Mouse, Kentucky in the building, you dig?
EMT. Well, we got a new member, Elton, Mr. TMT himself from Vegas. Uh,
we
Yeah.
got a we got a Phil Mayweather rep with us.
yeah,
From the patty.
that's the Vegas plug right there. And last but not least, okay, we
We
got
got
Smooth Cat
Smooth Cat.
Yeah.
with the grand entrance. And tonight's hangout is gonna consist of we're talking about Guillermo Rigondeaux signing with Rock Nation and what it means for his career. And him being into the Canelo Cotto undercard, as well as we're talking about Arthur Abraham taking on Martin Murray for the WBA or WBO super middleweight title, and the big one, Miguel Cotto taking on Canelo Alvarez for the lineal middleweight championship belt, as well as the WBC. So we're gonna let JG start it off with the Rigondeaux.
Yeah, it's a big news that Rigondeaux signed with Rock Nation, which is pretty good for his brand. I mean, there's been rumors that he's been turning down fights here and there, and now you kind of get some kind of closure as to him moving forward in his career. So, signing with Rock Nation is a good thing for him because he's going to probably have a lot more guaranteed money, more opportunity at the big stage. As you guys know, he's going to be fighting this weekend. So he's going to be fighting against what's the guy's name? Dran Francisco.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that guy, but Guillermo, whenever he fights, I mean, he's very skillful. So I'm looking forward to seeing him on the big stage of the undercard of Canelo and Cotto.
All right, Elton. What's your thoughts on the whole Rock Nation Rigondeaux signing?
So me,
Yeah.
well, to me, it is actually kind of a 50-50 thing with me. I am glad to have him back, but at the end of the day, he is probably gonna still be in the same spot, not getting fights, because everybody around his weight class is across the street with Heyman. So if it's like, is he gonna go up to fight Muhammad Checo and Walters? Probably not. So, but I am happy to get him back in the ring. But I don't really see no opponents for him who actually we would want to see him fight anyway.
Yeah, you make a valid point.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Jerome, he said that Rigondeaux has to move up in weight.
No, he didn't say he had to. He was saying he was just posing the question: would he move up to face Lomachenko and Walters? Which we kind of doubt because he's a smaller guy for the weight class as it is. But Mouse, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, everybody knows I'm a big Rigondeaux fan. I think that's great. I mean, he was with, I think, Caribbean Promotions, and you have the rumors of him turning down fights. Only the people that was backstage know that. I think the fact that he's fighting under the Canelo Cotto undercard is dope. Because now he's getting that exposure that he needs. And at the age that he is, I mean, a lot of people say he's 33, but he hasn't taken too much damage in his career to say that he's on War 33. So I
Okay. I mean, Mouse just hung up. Um, my thoughts on it is, I mean, it's a great signing. Whenever you can get a caliber fighter such as Rigondeaux, in your stable, is a plus. And I think the sky's the limit. Depends on how Rigondeaux, approaches this weekend's fight. He's on a big platform. Probably the second biggest fight of this year. Everybody will be tuning in. He has a chance to get new fans from Puerto Rico and Mexico because the guys headlining from those respective countries. And I think that if Jay Z and Rock Nation can market and promote him well and get him in fights that will just maybe expose some of his vulnerabilities, but fights where he's still capable of winning, I think it'll help him down the line because we know he can be dropped, but he also gets up and a beautiful boxer, defensive wizard, has underrated power. He just doesn't really sit down on his punches or commit to them because he's so defensive minded. But overall, I think it's a good signing, and I'm glad to see he's back in action and he's gonna get a chance to shine bright um, under the lights in New York City this weekend. Mouse, did you want to finish your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I just want to make a note on something. I mean, out of nowhere, they put Reagan now in the card. Uh, Man, this dude got to be training all year to be, you know what I mean, just to be put in the card and be ready for a fight. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see this fight. I'm excited. I agree with you, Jarrell. I think he's with Mexico, Puerto Rico fans. I think this is a big, big move. So
Yep, I mean, him being from Cuba, I mean, it just, like I said, you get to expand his fan base for those who love the pure boxing style. So, not Mouse, but Smooth Cat, what's your opinion and thoughts on signing? Okay. Um, well, I guess we're gonna move on to the next subject. We lost Smooth Cat temporarily. What are you guys' thoughts and predictions on the Arthur Abraham Martin Murray fight? I'm gonna start off with you, Mouse.
um, man, I don't know, man. This is a tough fight. I mean, Mark Murray's coming off. I mean, he's moving up to 168, correct?
Yeah, he's a big guy though, but yeah, he's moving up for the first. Well, I think yeah,
So, but then you have Abraham, who's, he's been around a while, and you're talking about a guy who's been in great wars, you know what I mean? I mean, a seasoned 168 fighter.
yeah.
But, I don't know, I think pick on fight. I'm going to go with Murray just on the fact that I just think Abraham doesn't have anything left in the tank.
You think?
Although he's the 168 fighter, I just think he's been in too many wars. But I won't be surprised if he pulls it off.
Well, what you think, Murray by late TKO knockout? I mean,
I
decision.
got Murray by decision. I don't see him knocking out Abraham. Although I feel Abraham has been too many wars. It's going to be interesting to see how Murray's power transitions into the 168. Because, I mean, he couldn't stop a smaller Sergio Martinez, and, I mean, despite what happened in the 11th round, you know, you have to question if at 168 that power is going to be there.
I definitely agree. Uh, yeah. Elton, what your thoughts on this fight?
I could see a late knockout by Abraham because Martin Murray's been in tough in his last few fights at 160 with Sergio Martinez, Triple G, and actually really Abraham probably has better power than Triple G, so I see a stop.
JG.
I'm actually going. I'm going to be different than everybody else. I think it's going to be a draw. I think that Martin Murray is coming off of a pretty solid performance against Triple G, even though he, it ended the way that it did. I thought that he gained a little bit of momentum for himself personally. Abraham is at the end. I mean, he's over the hill at this point, even though he's still, a titleist. And I think that it's just going to even out, and we're going to probably get a draw in a I would say a very entertaining fight. I think it's going to be close, and it's probably going to be like a split draw or something like that. We'll probably get them fighting again. similar to, I believe he just finished up a sequel with somebody. Was it Paul Smith?
Yeah. He finished
Yeah,
over
so
Paul Smith.
so I could definitely see something like that where
Oh,
they end up in the draw and have to fight again.
it was Robert. You know I ain't good with names, Stiglitz or something like that. Um, Smooth Cat, what's your thoughts and prediction on this weekend's Arthur Abraham Martin Murray fight?
think we know it's smooth category.
Well,
Okay,
my
and
thoughts
that
on
fight,
Here you go.
it's one of
go ahead.
those. Can y'all hear me? Okay,
Yep,
Yeah,
here you go.
it's one of those fights where I feel that I think Martin Murray jab is going to be the key to this fight because I don't think Abraham is what he once was. So I'm going with Martin Murray by unanimous decision over Abraham.
Yes, sir.
I love this fight for Murray. I think he's gonna dominate the fight, and I wouldn't rule out a late TKO stoppage or whatever. I mean, he's more athletic. You know, he's a taller fighter, faster fighter. He's the fresher fighter, although he did take a lot of punishment in that fight with Triple G.
Yeah, but who hasn't taken punishment
But I'm
for
like,
Triple G?
but it was like a systematically like 11 round taking punishment. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
Stevenson took some, Curtis Stevenson took some to the 8th and 9th round, and then Lemieux. But this was like, other than Casillas Uma, I can't really remember nobody else taking that type of punishment overall and going that deep in the fight. You got to, think that some of that, took some out of Murray, but I like Murray in this fight a lot. I mean, he's really grown on me as a fighter. I mean, he's constantly getting better, and I think that him moving up to 168, he's gonna get more power, in my opinion. I'm not saying he's gonna be a world class puncher, but I think his power will increase. He's a big guy, and I think he wins a unanimous decision. I think he drops Abraham late in the fight.
I agree with you on that. He might drop Abraham. I can see that happening.
Hey, Mike Smoothcat, what are your thoughts on the Wiggindale sign since you went out before you can get your response?
Hey, I actually love the idea that Rigondeaux is back, and I mean, I'm one of those guys. I don't believe the horseradish that they say about Rigondeaux been ducking fights. He hasn't been ducking fights. Rigondeaux is the only world champion in the sport of boxing whose mandatory challenger Carl Frampton and the other one from England. I can't think of his name right now. But both of them, they should be a damn shame of themselves. Neither one of them, y'all claim y'all want to be the best. Carl Frampton and I can't think of his name. Damn, never mind. But both of them should be ashamed of themselves because y'all sitting there, y'all swear y'all world class fighters and y'all not afraid of anybody. But neither one of y'all will step up to the plate to fight Rigondeaux. He's clowned and he did everything possible he could to get a fight with both of y'all. And neither one of y'all wanted to fight, saying y'all wasn't ready. But now y'all ready to fight for his belts. It's bullshit.
Yep.
Pretty much. I mean, pretty much. I get, duck that boost. I might have to make a video, but anyway. Shit.
I would like to be featured.
Hey, we can do that. We're now on to the big main event of fight. We got Miguel Cotto taking on Canelo Alvarez. A fight that's been highly anticipated since it was made. More anticipated than the other fight, in my opinion, because we don't get action. And they more evenly matched guys in this fight. So, Smooth Cat, go on, give us some of your keys and some of the stuff you seen and watching film of both of these fighters that you look forward to seeing play out in the
Okay.
ring Saturday night.
Okay, I'm gonna start with Cotto. Okay, with Cotto, first things first. What I've noticed ever since he's been with Freddie, I'm really loving his head movement. I'm loving the body, and his jab. His jab has been key in every fight that he's had thus far since he's been with Freddie Roach. Now, something that I have noticed still is okay now. Of late, like I say, the foot movement is there. He's been looking real good and real precise. But I mean, what I want to say with Cotto is he still makes a couple technical flaws that Daniel Gill or Sergio Martinez weren't able to take advantage of. And I think Canelo Alvarez can take advantage of these flaws that he's making. But what I will say is for Canelo, the key for Canelo in this
I think you breaking up.
fight, Miguel Cotto, no, huh?
Keep going.
Nah, I couldn't hear you.
You was breaking up, but keep going.
He also has to let Miguel Cotto know that this is going to be a battle of the wheels. And like I say, use his size advantage on Miguel Cotto. How I see this fight going out, I see Cotto coming out, early. He trying to get the crowd involved.
All right. El, jump in.
Okay.
What's some of your keys to victory and things you're looking for to play out in the fight Saturday?
This is how I see it. I actually think this is going to be a actually higher pace of chess than what Floyd and Canelo was, but key
Talk a
to
little
victory.
louder, Elton.
This is going to be a higher piece of chess than Floyd and Canelo was. I actually could see Cotto, if he is smart, and instead of stepping in with his jab like he usually do, just pop. If he steps in with his jab, he is going to be there for Canelo's combos. But if he just pop it, move it side to side, Canelo's going to be stuck trying to reset the whole fight. And I actually know Roach has to see that because Nolo ain't got side to side moves. He overcompensates with uppercut. It always comes on. So if they are smart, they will time that and actually go to the body. But I don't really see them wrong because actually that is neither one of their styles anyway. I, Canelo wants you to come to him, and actually Cotto doesn't mind boxing. So I don't see it all out wrong. But if they Canelo's gonna win the fight, regardless of fight.
You got Canelo. You got Cotto winning.
Well,
I can't even.
Canelo's
I can't. Hey, hold that thought. JG, go ahead.
I like a lot of what Elton said, because that's kind of my thoughts, as far as Cotto making Canelo have to reset. And I think that that's what's going to happen a lot in this fight. I think that what Cotto's going to do is make this a little bit more technical. So I'm not going to say it's going to be cat and mouse, but it's going to be some kind of, okay, I'm over here, I'm setting you up, jab, body punches. He's going to try and make it slow, make Canelo a little frustrated, and then turn it on. That's kind of how I see it going. I don't think that. I think that if it turns into a brawl, obviously that's up Canelo's alley. But if it comes down to IQ and being more technical, it's Cotto's ball game. I see Cotto win the unanimous decision, and it's going to be based on experience. Like I know that Cotto has lost to some of the best fighters in the world. Canelo also lost to one of the best fighters in the world that Cotto lost to,
The
which is
best fighter
Mayweather.
in the
Yeah, the best fighter in the world. But at the same time,
Well,
when you look at Canelo's, I've seen Cotto prevail in very close fights and them not be, like super controversial. Every big opponent that Canelo has fought, all of those fights you could say that he lost. And I think that I could see Cotto closing the show and winning the unanimous decision. But no matter what, I think there's going to be a rematch. So I think it's going to be a close fight.
I'll jump in.
Well, you guys already know. I'm putting Puerto Rican. So this is a big fight for us. But I'm definitely not Team Cotto. As everybody would like to think that we have to choose our country, this is the one fight that I'm going with Canelo. My heart is with Cotto. Cotto wins, that's going to be great because, it's a victory for Puerto Rico. But boxing wise, I'm picking Canelo. I mean, I'm going to go on the opposite of what Mike was saying with Cotto and, his jab. And that, I agree with his jab. He's gotten that back with Freddie Roach. He's also gotten back his signature punch, which was what made Cotto, so the only thing I have to say on that is he's been fighting guys that he's training. I mean, everybody, I'm not questioning Cotto's ring IQ. We all know he's a very good boxer. But I mean, let's be real. He fought Rodriguez, then he fought, a boss, his prime Sergio Martinez, Daniel Gill. I mean, he's a 160 champion who doesn't want to fight at 160. I mean, that's just my point on it. As far as Canelo, I just think Canelo's body work is going to be the key to this fight. I think Canelo's defense has gotten better since the Floyd fight. I think he's fresher, he's younger. My major key for this is whose stamina is going to last longer. Because Cotto has stamina problems, but so does Canelo. Cotto cuts easy though. So it's going to be interesting to see if Cotto does get cut, how is he going to react? But I'm calling Canelo for a unanimous decision 12 rounds.
Man, I got Canelo Alvarez all the way. I don't care about no CMC. I don't care about none of that shit. All I know is that he's a younger, faster, stronger guy, the fresher guy. He gonna land some leather on Cotto. Cotto doesn't have the best chin. Cotto has been looking good against as of late, but if y'all discuss this time and time again, I think it's because of his opponent. Daniel Gill, we've seen him look like a skeleton fight night. Couldn't do nothing. And Daniel Gill is better than what he displayed that night against Cotto. Not so he fighting Cotto, but he was a quality middleweight. I'm not gonna really go into the details of Martinez. We all know what that was, and I'm gonna discredit Cotto. We know that Sergio wasn't all the way there physically. I think that Cotto has been gassed up to think that Canelo, even though he's flawed and we all know it, that he's gonna be a walk in the park. Yes, Cotto's a bigger puncher than Mayweather, and he's a couple notches under Mayweather, but he's still a great fighter. He has the edge and skill, but I think that he gonna underestimate, Canelo, and this catchweight will not affect, Canelo. Canelo has been fighting at 155 since the Angulo fight, and I think that Canelo will finally show up and get a clear, decisive victory over the top notch opponent. I think he's gonna stop Cotto in the ninth round. It's gonna look ugly. His face gonna start to, cut up and swell, and he's similar to when he fought Manny Pacquiao, but not as damaging. It is gonna be more damaging, but it's just not gonna look as bad because it's gonna be competitive. But around the fifth or the sixth round, those left hooks, those right hands, gonna start to, slow down Cotto. He's gonna get sliced up, and he could probably take a knee, give you that look he gave against Margarito. That fight was bullshit. And not soon after that.
Even if you go there, I'm about to cut you off the rock. But even if you go there with the Margarito fight, if you look at the second fight when they made Margarito fight with regular guns, Margarito was coming on Cotto when they stopped that fight. He had Cotto up. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, Cotto is not a guy that can back up. And if Canelo gets to back up some, that's going to be the next fight.
Cotto, he could do it sometime. I agree. He's not a guy that can perform backwards the whole fight. He did it. He did it early on against Margarito and against some of his other opponents. He capable, but he can't do that for 12 rounds against a guy because he's gonna gas and then he's gonna have to let his hands go to get some respect from Canelo. Like I said, I was wrong when I picked Sergio Martinez by a knockout and shit. I might be wrong come Saturday night, but I just think that Canelo is gonna put Cotto down, put a count, clean knockout. Yeah, man, he might knock him out worse than he did Kirkland, because we know that in exchanges, Cotto can't be caught, and I mean that's my prediction. Canelo Alvarez by 9 KO.
The exchanges, because Cotto does like to fight.
And
sooner or later, sometime in that fight, they're gonna fight.
But Canelo can't square himself up and admire his work though, because Canelo like to do that. He like to look at his work and he don't need to be on the ropes either. Because body shots. I really thought Kirkland was listen to the body. I really think Cotto, if he can get in the rhythm, it could spell disaster for Canelo if he can't get off and he's affected by the body shots. But we'll see, man. I think it's gonna be a fire fight, and I think it's gonna be a fight of the year type fight. Have a couple rounds of the year, and hell, both guys might drop each other. Like I said, I just hope I hope it. I haven't seen one of these great fights in a long time. I just want a back and forth. Rock and sock 'em type fight, and whoever wins, hey, props to them. And that's what I hope we get treated to this weekend, because we haven't had one of those fights that we expect to be live up. What you say, Smooth?
So Elton and John got Cotto, correct?
Yeah, I got Cotto. Unanimous decision, right, fellas?
Well, I wanted to touch on something.
Based on experience?
Well, it's not just that though. Well, I mean, like Mouse, you brought up. I guess you brought up the fight where he fought Margarito before he fought Floyd. That's not the same Cotto that has fought his last couple fights, and I'll tell you why. And I'm pretty sure Smooth Cat's gonna break it down when he does. That Cotto didn't have a bounce in the step. The Cotto that's gonna come in on Saturday night has a bounce in the step now with Roach, and he's also become a lot better and a lot quicker at parrying a shot. So when you throw a shot, he's blocking that and coming back at you a lot faster. He's rolling that a lot faster. And for some reason, it's like his reaction has gotten better over the last couple fights. Now, that's where it's going to be very tricky. Now, if we were talking about that same Cotto back then, yeah, I say he gets steamrolled. But there's a little bit. He sharpened up his technique in his defense, and it just seems like he's gotten his legs back or something. Or maybe he was fighting through injuries back then. He's a little bit more healthier now. I don't know. I can't speak for, but the guy that we saw back then ain't the same guy that we've seen the last 2-3 fights.
My bad, man. Pretty much, JG was saying that you can't really compare Cotto in the second round.
I heard the bounce in the first step, but I didn't hear anything after that.
Yeah, I can't ask. I don't know if you want to repeat yourself, but Mouse could hear the last part of what you said.
No, it's cool. We don't have to repeat it. I was only gonna this is what I'm gonna say. I agree on the bounce. He does got that bounce back, but I also think that he's getting a lot more credit for fighting guys that are drained. You know what I mean? He's not fighting guys at the regular weight. He's training guys, and then of course he's gonna be quicker. The guy he's fighting is, you know what I mean? He's dying in the ring before he even get in the ring.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I'm like skeptical to say that he all the way rejuvenated. JG makes the points. He does look good in terms of just the bounces back, the body work, the focus on what he had to do, whatever game plan for each other opponent, he had since he joined with Roach, has been, a thing of to watch. But I mean, let's be honest, though, guys was drained or hurt and shit. Gil was just pathetic. What I mean? It was just, if that
we can
fight
say
was
the same.
fought at 150,
We can say the same about Canelo fighting Kirkland too. I mean,
yeah,
let's not
but
act like
I get
Kirkland
you. But
wasn't
what we
off
saying,
all
what
the
I'm
time.
saying is, yeah, but what I'm saying is like just straight up based off of is he all the way back? Because I don't think anybody really left that fight. I mean, watching that fight was like, man, Canelo really made super improvements. You know what I'm saying? Or just we knew what it was. He did.
Hmm.
Handle the pressure. But and what I'm looking at is that we saying that Cotto is back. He's rejuvenated. He's this and that. I'm just withholding judgment until I see him against Cotto. I mean Canelo this weekend. Whether he loses or not, we can still walk away and say, you know what, he did rejuvenate himself. He did improve, even though he lost. He still put up a great effort. But if he get like whitewashed and just embarrassed and it's not even competitive, my point would be proven that it was just a product of matchmaking and not really him you know, improving to the point where we can
I
say
don't know.
without a doubt that he would beat these guys at a non-catch weight fight at middleweight.
Well, just and to
I
add on, just
don't
John said about
know.
the fighting
Hold on,
Kirkland and all
Mouth.
that.
I mean, not Mouth. Hold on, Mike. Hold on, Mouth.
To add to that, I mean, yeah, he fought Kirkland. Kirkland haven't fought in a while, but he fought Kirkland at Kirkland's weight. You know what I'm saying? He didn't make him drain himself to fight him. You know, yeah.
All right, so Mookie, what was you about to say?
No, I said hey, this was kind of towards you when you said something about you can't necessarily say Cotto's rejuvenated. I mean, if you look at what he's doing technically, you actually can say that was when his uncle had him as a monster. Because hey, he been looking good, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Freddie Roach actually has him better defensively than his uncle did. A lot better defensively.
Yeah, but his offense with his uncle was untouchable. I mean, he was blowing through people with his uncle.
But you look at it was one of them situations where that's like now. Okay, just look at his footwork. Okay, back then he was just moving to move. Now he's with a purpose. He's actually using lateral movement to set you up. And I mean, hey, that's like the way he walked you Gil into that damn left hook. Dude, that was a thing of beauty. It really was.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't have said rejuvenated, but I just think that, I mean, it's a product of if you don't perform well this weekend, it's just gonna be a product of matchmaking. And yeah, he would look good against guys that I don't even know if you can say Canelo is better than Gil. And I know you damn sure ain't gonna say he better than Martinez, but at these stages of their career, yeah, he probably is better because he can do more physically. I mean, and he can just do more right now. But my
I
thing
kind
is,
of. Oh,
go
my bad. Go
ahead.
ahead. I was about to say, like, I wanted to make one thing clear. I'm not looking at the end result of Cotto's last couple fights. I'm comparing himself now to his self from a couple fights ago. I'm actually looking at him. I'm not comparing who was in the ring with him. I'm just looking at from a technical standpoint and from a physical standpoint the differences I see. If that makes any sense.
I got what you're saying. Yeah, I know you've been saying that for the longest. That's what you're looking for. Yeah, there's a lot of different angles you can look at to see. Okay, if he improved or whatever it is you're looking for. So, like I said, I think we're gonna get a great fight this weekend. Listening to y'all kind of got me want to pick Cotto because he proved me wrong once before.
Don't do it.
I'm sticking with you.
The last time against Canelo, you ended up being Jarrell Alvarez for a whole week.
Yeah, luckily for me, I ain't got no name.
Indeed.
And nope, I ain't JJ ain't greening no name ban or none of that. Elton, don't be asking me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but one last thing, one last thing.
JG Elton.
When we're talking about Cotto's footwork, and everybody's talking about the bounce, uh, you know, Canelo can reset his jab because I mean, Cotto has this 1, 2, 3 bounce before he throws his jab. You know, he has to bounce a couple of times before he throws punches. You know, I think that's going to be a factor too. So, although his footwork is better than Canelo's, I mean, Canelo has a pretty stiff jab
Yeah.
that can reset that bounce. And if he resets that bounce, you know what I mean, that's all it's going to take.
But
And Mouse,
Canelo,
to add on,
go ahead, JJ.
and to add on to that, Mouse too, a lot of things that one thing that Montel Griffin said, and I've seen
Say
this, and I've said this a
what
couple
that
times,
mean.
is that Canelo.
Hold on, Mike. Let JJ finish his comment.
Well, I said this a couple of times too. To add on to what Mouse was saying, Canelo is a lot slicker than people give him a lot of credit for. So, if he does pick up a rhythm in what Cotto's doing, he might be able to slip that and land a few counter shots that way. I think that the key for him is going to be to the body, like you said earlier, Mouse. I mean, Cotto has done a very good job of defending up top, but if Canelo can sustain a body attack, he can probably set some things up for himself later.
And anything else y'all want to talk about
Let
uh
me, no,
about this fight?
let
'Cause
me
we
get
really got common opponents. They got they both fought James Mosley and
Yeah, the common opponents never mean anything. You know, styles make fights. I know Canelo beat Trout beat Cotto. You know, it's
he did beat him. He didn't.
it's styles make fights. You know, Canelo is a different fighter than Trout is. Canelo is a different fighter than Mosley is. You know, and when Mosley fought Cotto and Canelo both. I mean Mosley was already at the end.
Yeah.
And
Well, let me ask y'all this question. Because I posted like a month ago in the PCR. Elton, you might remember it. I was like, does Canelo Alvarez need to win this fight clearly to be validated as a top tier fighter? What are y'all thoughts on it? Y'all think he needs to win this clearly, or he can afford another close victory to be taken seriously? Because a lot of people consider him good and lucky and not great and dominant or whatever.
Come on in, who
I'll
voice?
start. Oh,
Whoever. Mouse, you go.
no. All he needs is a victory. I think if you want to sit here and say that if he wins convincingly, then it's gonna validate him as a fighter.
No, top tier fighter. No, not as a fighter.
Being top 10. That's what I mean. Being top 10 doesn't really matter. Beating Cotto alone, that should be enough. It doesn't matter if it's close. It doesn't matter if he barely gets that win. All that matters is that he beat Cotto. That's my opinion. I don't think he needs to beat Cotto convincingly to be in the top 10.
I don't think even if he beat Cotto, he's not gonna be a top 10 fighter. I don't think. I just don't see Canelo as a top 10 guy. But it depends on if you're looking at skill or you going off resume skill and all. You know what it is. That's another discussion. Elton, what you think?
he definitely needs to win impressively, but if he loses, it is going to be worse. Then he's going to be because if he loses, he is just going to be popular. That is it. You can't win if he loses.
JG?
Honestly, he just needs to get a victory. There is no style points in this boxing thing. I mean, yeah, pound for pound list is cool and all that, and it's cool to be in that magazine. But at the end of the day, when you getting victories and you still a guy that everybody's chasing, that's really all you need. So, a win could validate him, but at the end of the day, he's still a guy everybody wants to fight. So,
Mike, smooth cat.
Think he, think, Mike.
I think he needs to win. I'm not saying he has to be like super dominant, but he needs to win a clear decision. You know what I'm saying? To kind of validate that he's arrived. I mean, he's arrived as that top guy, not just the top 10 pound for pound guy, just the top guy that we can say he's an elite fighter. Because a lot of people don't believe in him still. Um, a lot of people look at him as fortunate to get the wins that he got. Against Trout, against Thor. I mean, and we see what happened when he fought Mayweather, which was expected, but still, kind of haven't shown that much. I mean, he's shown some improvement since the Mayweather fight against Laura, but Laura, you can argue, gave that fight away by not being active enough and making Canelo pay when he made him miss. So, like I said, I think he needs a clear win to be stamped as that true next Mexican superstar in terms of really carrying it, not just popularity wise. So, but a win is a win at the end of the day, and I think he gonna get that win. So, and I picked it by KO, so I'm expecting him to be impressive. But y'all want to say anything? Closing words before we get out of here?
Yeah, I just want to say, although I named a lot of points for Canelo winning this fight, my heart is with Puerto Rico and Cotto. So if Cotto wins, I'll be just as happy. And it may sound like I'm a Cotto hater, but I'm really not. I'm just rooting for Canelo on this fight.
Anybody else want to say anything for
Yeah.
You know what?
I'm actually
I
gonna.
don't. Okay. I,
Go ahead, Mike.
hey, to touch on what you were saying, Big Cool, about do he need to win in a dominant way to be looking impressive? I don't think he has to dominate Cotto, but if he does dominate Cotto, I mean, I think that will speak volumes onto Canelo Alvarez because, like you said, he is already assumed to be the next big thing as a Mexican fighter. So, what better way for him to like really take that next crossover step than to have a dominant win, a four division world champion, and possibly, in some people's opinion, the greatest Puerto Rican.
But all that, but future Hall of Famer, definitely. And like I said,
I mean, I'm not saying
yeah, yeah, I know
I
what you
said some people might see that. Some people think that though.
I just hope Canelo make me look good this weekend. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Anyway, we wrapping it up. We want to thank the fans. Or not the fans. Let me stop saying that because we ain't really popular. We want to thank our supporters. Sticking with us, even though we've been inconsistent with the content. We're gonna try to, get that back on a consistent basis. Interviews. We will have a post-fight hangout if these guys are up to it. Right after the fight, to break down what we witnessed. Um, Thank you for the support. Like the video, favorite the channel, subscribe to the channel, share the channel, leave your comments in the comment section below. One of us will comment back to you when we, get a chance to. And until next time, we out. Peace.